Hello everyone, today I'd like to show you how to make mozzarella cheese. We'll be using raw goat's milk for this recipe. If you want, you can use pasteurized, that'll work as well. And a few simple ingredients that we'll need. One is rennet, you can use vegetable rennet or animal rennet. Both work really well, just make sure that you're buying it from cheese making supplier. The other product is citric acid, and it's also an important one. It helps us to bring the milk to a certain pH and helps us to make our cheese workable and stretchable. Below the video I will leave the recipe and also all the links to where you can get the ingredients. As far as tools, all you need is a slotted spoon, few measuring spoons, a measuring cup, container for your cheese, thermometer, colander, and gloves. It's a good idea to use digital thermometer, but for this recipe I do not have it, so no big deal if you don't have it, it works out just fine. So because I'll be working with raw milk, I need to make sure that all my tools are super clean. So I like to sterilize them by placing in a pot of boiling water for about 5 minutes, and then I take them out and let them air dry. So in step 1, we need to acidify the milk, and we'll be adding citric acid. Let's say you just taken your milk out of the refrigerator, and at this point it's a good idea to heat it up a little bit. Let's say to 55 degrees. You don't have to be precise here. It's just a good time for you to practice working with milk, and you'll learn that milk doesn't like to be heated up fast. So it's a slow process. It will take you about maybe 10 minutes, and stirring constantly will really prevent sticking the milk to the bottom of the pot. You just add your citric acid and again stir it a little bit. Step 2, adding rennet to form the curds. Few rules here. Rennet doesn't like to work in cold milk, so it's kind of general for most recipes. You would heat up the milk somewhere between 88 to 91 degrees Fahrenheit and then use your rennet. Another rule for working with rennet is we need to dissolve it beforehand. So we take a little bit of cool filtered water and dissolve our rennet in it, and only after that we add that mixture to our milk. So this is a general rule for most cheese making. It's a good practice to use your slotted spoon to help you pour rennet. And here's an important step. When you mix your rennet, you want to move slowly, and your motion will be not counterclockwise or clockwise, but up and down, up and down. And all you do is count maybe 5 to 30 seconds and then you stop. Take the spoon out, cover the lid, and let it sit anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. Now you can see that the curds are formed, and that's with the help of our rennet. Then cut up the curds into little cubes, and we'll be heating up our whey to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, make sure that you are stirring them slowly and gently. And your whey will heat up to 100 degrees fairly quickly. But here's a moment. There are recipes on the internet that tell you can make mozzarella in half an hour, and that is true. But because you're a beginner, this step of preparing your curds before you work and stretch them is the most important one. So take your time, and instead of like 5 minutes keeping your curds in hot whey, keep them there for half an hour, for 40 minutes if you can. Just let them stand, go do something else, and then come back to your curds, and then start working your curds, which is step number 3. For step number 3, we want to heat up the whey to 150 degrees. You can add a little bit of salt, and then take little pieces of your curds and heat them up using your slotted spoon in your hot whey, and you will see that the edges will start to melt a little bit, and that's what happens. Usually the edges become really warm, but the center will be not, so the edges will stretch but the center won't. So that's a good idea at this point to break that piece that I have it's a little too large, so just break it in half and work small pieces. And once you get comfortable, you'll see people just never making small little mozzarella balls. They take big mass of curds and work it all at once, which is a great time saver, but I would say it's more for advanced cheesemakers. So it's much easier, much more fun for beginners to work with a small piece of curd. So you heat up your curd in your whey, and then all you do is pull and stretch, pull and stretch. And there are two things here to do. Is when you think about salt in your mozzarella cheese, you can sprinkle some salt right now at this step as you work your curd, and the other one is to use brine. And for brine, there are a few different recipes. Basically, all you need to do is make it salty. So for example, add in maybe 2 cups of water to 2 cups of whey, and then about half a cup of salt will give you a nice brine. It'll be salty, and then the longer your mozzarella sits in that brine, the more salty it gets. So you can just let it sit for an hour or two overnight, depending on how salty you want your cheese. So here it is, your own fresh homemade mozzarella cheese. You can store it in the brine in the refrigerator. You can put it in a plastic bag and store it in the freezer and use it as you need it. It will keep in the fridge for up to 2 weeks in the brine, a little bit less without the brine, and about up to 3 months in the freezer. Use it in your homemade recipes, and I hope you enjoyed the recipe. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. I'd love to hear from you back. If you liked the video, if you have any questions, or maybe your own tips and tricks, please post them in the comment section below. I'll see you next time. Hello everyone, this is Nadia Act, and today I'd like to show you how to make a raw milk mozzarella cheese.